Hey guys, it's Carly and welcome back to Body Bags. This is week number 227 and as always I am your Tuesday reviewer here. I apologize if my voice sounds kind of weird. I've been sick the last couple of days and I'm starting to feel better, but my voice is still kind of weak, so I apologize for that. But anyway, for today's review I decided to go with a 2017 film since I've been trying to, knock out all the 2017 films now that we're getting to the end of the year and whatnot. And so for today I'm going to be talking about the movie Dismissed, starring Dylan Sprouse, I believe. One of the Sprouse twins. There's Cool and Dylan. I believe it is Dylan who is playing in this movie, and basically the plot here is you have this teacher who is an English teacher for a high school, and he's kind of like annoyed with his job. Like, he's not all that satisfied because obviously in high school students aren't all that like driven and focused and things like that. They don't really have a passion for what they're learning. They just kind of want to go to class, sleep in the class, not really pay attention, and go home. And he's just kind of getting sick of teaching these kids who he could tell just don't really care about the material he's trying to teach them and things like that. So he's a little dissatisfied, and then one day a new student starts, which is this Dylan Sprouse's character. I forget his name. I'm very bad with names, but anyway, he starts at the school, and he is a very intelligent person. You could tell by the way he carries himself and the big vocabulary he has. And this teacher at first is very excited to have him as a student. He kind of gives the teachers like drive back and confidence and makes him more happy about his job. But then one day this student is given a B+ on this giant essay he writes for the teacher, and the student is not happy about this at all, and he basically starts messing with the English teacher, and the English teacher kind of has to prove that this boy is doing this to him and kind of, save his life and career and things like that. So, that's the basic idea there. First off, I got to say, like, Dylan Sprouse, if you don't know who I'm talking about, he was known for playing the little boy in the movie Big Daddy, as well as obviously one of the twins in The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which is a Disney show that I honestly watched growing up. I used to like it quite a bit, and yeah, I haven't really seen either of the twins do anything after that show, and I was very, very pleased with his performance in this. I was pretty shocked because I haven't seen him do anything as like an adult. I think he's probably like around 23 or 22 now, and I think he does a very solid job. He's like just very chilling, like you could just tell something's up with him because he's just like very smart, kind of like like a weirdo type character, like awkward in a way, and I think he really sells the role. All the performances are pretty good in this. The teacher does a good job as well, but it's a good movie overall. I have a couple issues with it though. Like, I just feel like it's almost too convenient at times. Like, no one really believes this teacher at all when he tries to explain that this dude is messing with him, which it's kind of understandable. Like, you're gonna kind of question, like, why would you think a teenager is screwing with you? It doesn't really make sense. But at the same time, like, the people he tells this to are refusing to really hear him out, and that drives me crazy in movies when someone is being messed with and they try to tell, like, another teacher or an adult or policeman or something like that what's going on, and they immediately dismiss them and don't listen to their examples of what happened. Like, for example, like in this movie, the teacher wakes up and there's a flat tire on his car, and some other events happen that are just very too perfect to be just coincidences. So, but he doesn't really get to explain that. to anyone because they refuse to listen. And I just think that's really annoying in movies, because in real life I feel like people will hear you out and they're not just going to be like, oh yeah, right, because, you know, you're supposed to take stuff like that seriously, even if it sounds far-fetched. And I really didn't like that about it. And another thing, this movie just felt kind of not, I don't know, like, I don't want to say boring. It wasn't boring. Like, I was interested throughout it. It just kind of felt a little too slow or something for me at times. It didn't feel like it had a lot of substance to it. I feel like they could have done a lot more with it, maybe. To me, I've described it before as kind of like, it felt like a Lifetime movie. Definitely better production value and things like that, but just like the basic storyline and, you know, the suspense and things like that just felt like something you would see in a Lifetime film to me, personally. I used to watch Lifetime movies when I was younger because my mom liked those movies, so that's kind of how I, you know to make that comparison. But, you know, overall, I thought the story was pretty, you know, it was a good story. I just felt like there could have been more to it, and I feel like the actor really sells it as the student, and, you know, it's got a pretty depressing, downer type of ending. I mean, the ending's, like, kind of happy, but at the same time, things that lead up to it are really, really depressing, and I kind of like that for it. But overall, I did give this movie an 8 out of 10. It's not a bad movie at all. It just, I felt like it could have been better. There are ways that it could have been made better. And yeah, so 8 out of 10 for Dismissed from 2017. I still say check it out. It could be on some people's top 10 lists, maybe, possibly. But for me personally, it's just an 8 out of 10. And that's about all I can really give it. So thank you guys for joining me for this Tuesday review, and I'll see you next Tuesday.